The second time that I ever met Shaggy, he said to me, he's introduced me to somebody he works for, and he goes, yo, this is Adam. He's the most hated person in the music business. I'm like, what do you mean? It's a crazy thing to say.
That's how you're introduced?
He goes, that's what he said. I said, he goes, there's two reasons why. He goes, one, old school industry type people are challenged by the business model of sharing information and doing things in this way. One, and two, you're not part of the culture.
Yeah.
And I'm like, those are both fair things. And he doesn't actually, he doesn't actually mean hated, but maybe by like old school industry people who are like, then I get it.
Might cut this up, but you're Jewish too?
Yeah.
Trifecta.
There we go.
Trifecta, right?
We don't need to cut that up.
Yeah.
We don't need to cut that up.
We'll leave it.
Oh my God.
OJ on the beat.
You people, come back to the Fix Podcast, episode 225. It's your boy Naro here with Ari. All right, we have a couple of special guests in the building. One was invited, one was uninvited. And he's off screen. Well, if not alone. Yeah, sometimes here, sometimes within the recording, I think. But yes, on-screen guests, official guests, President of Ineffable Records. There we go. Adam Gross in the building. He's telling us his middle name is.
His middle name is.
These people actually believe that.
Yeah.
Obviously, is it gross or gross? Adam is gross.
Wow.
That's what Americans say, gross, right?
It's gross. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but most Americans say gross.
Yeah. And me see me say, yeah, that's
gross.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Bless up, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, you're in town for the IMC, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Which is Island Music Conference.
There we go.
So tell us a little bit about it. You just promote it. I'm assuming you want to promote it a little bit, and like what you be doing on the panel, and what's your main area of topic.
Yeah, so they invited me to come speak on a couple panels. So one is the pros and cons of owning your own masters, something I care a lot about. I think all artists should own their masters, and I think that's something we can talk about here as well. And the other topic that I'm going to talk about is reggae around the world, outside of Jamaica, what's going on with these different markets and all these different parts of the world. So those are the two main things I want to talk about. And something I focus a lot on in general is just kind of providing information to artists, independent artists, aspiring professionals about like how do you actually build your audience and how do you create a sustainable business for yourself. So that's kind of a lot of what I'm trying to put forward. Okay.
And then, the panel, I'm assuming like most people always hit you up in the DMs or asking you questions and like, whoa, So you feel like it just makes sense to just do this panel and be a part of this panel to answer all questions pretty much.
Yeah. And I think it's just something I'm naturally thinking about all the time, like probably too much. I started doing like social media content, just talking about this stuff, like, I don't know, 4 weeks ago or something like that. And I've been getting a very good response to it.
So wait, did you do, or you started to do because I saw it on Instagram.
Yeah.
So you started to do it before you got invited, or was it after you got invited?
I don't remember the exact. It's kind of had nothing to do with it necessarily, but it was just more so just like I just generally think that like this entire industry works better when we're just sharing information. And I think if you're afraid of sharing information, it's because you're afraid that you're not going to keep learning more. And there's a lot of old school gatekeepers that exist in this world who, if your entire business model is like, hey, I get this and then I connect you to this, it's like, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a sustainable thing for people. So to me, it's like, let's share information with people. Let's give people the tools to grow their own fan bases, to put money in their pocket every month from their music. And, if we need to work together, we work together. But if not, I just want to provide that information because I think it's like something that we're just missing a lot of right now.
All right, before we go any further, inform the people as to what else it is that you do, because I think I did your intro, gross injustice.
That's clever. I feel like I'm 11 again, which was like 2 years ago. No.
Yeah, what you do to be able to talk and speak on this?
So you're president of
Ineffable Records.
Yeah.
That's one division of our company, Ineffable Music Group. So we have three main divisions: the record label, we have a management company, and we have a live division. So the management company, full service management, we manage artists, all aspects of their career. live business. We own or operate 10 music venues, and we have ownership at a number of festivals as well. And then the record label, we're signing artists just for on the recorded music side and developing those projects, usually a project or two at a time, and kind of releasing that music and growing those audiences and focusing on doing deals where the artists are owning their masters, where they're owning their publishing, and whatever we're asking for percentage wise, I feel like we're going to move the needle more and put more money in their pocket than if they went and uploaded it themselves on DistroKid or one of these services and kept 100%.
Okay.
That's the way I think about anything I'm adding on. What is our value add? And is it great enough that it's going to put more money in their pocket than if they went on and did it themselves? Which is why I think this information is possible. So through all of that, between our management roster and our label roster, we've become the top independent reggae label the last 4 years in a row. If you pull up like the year-end Billboard labels chart.
I wonder if there's an award for this.
Is there an award for it?
Yeah,
I don't think so. But
for him to say that, we're the top, we won awards for this.
No, but just pull up the, no, but I think,
that's the award in itself.
It's just a stat. So, I think we do that in terms of a lot of different markets. So we work with a lot of the biggest artists in the kind of American, California kind of scene. So Stick Figure, who's become the biggest artist in that space, who also last 4 years in a row, if you pull up the year-end artist charts, it's Bob Marley #1 in sales and Stick Figure #2. We also work with some of the biggest artists in Hawaii, like J-Boog, The Green, and then we work with a lot of artists in Jamaica. We put out an album for Conscience. We put out an album for DeMarco.
I saw that Jesse Royal was on your...
Jesse Royal's a management client. We do all of Kes the band's music out of Trinidad, so we do Soca. We think that this whole entire scene exists worldwide a lot bigger than people see it to be. So I'll find something, this band we work with called DMP, they're from the Solomon Islands. Have you ever heard of the Solomon Islands before?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a lot of people haven't heard of the Solomon Islands. Do
they have cameras there?
They do have cameras there.
Camels.
Oh, I don't think so. That's an inside joke. We've already got inside jokes here, so no. But just as an example, that's a country, Solomon Islands. They have this band DMP, and they're huge there. Someone sends me the music. I'm like, this is dope. All right, let's do it. There is music. Reggae music and reggae influenced music all around the world. Yeah. And when all of these different places come together, the overall scene is much bigger than people think it is.
So, I realized that Ineffable Records really mostly focus on reggae music. So it's like a reggae music label. That's your, I guess, your differentiation from a Sony on...
I think reggae, dancehall, soca, music that's influenced by all of that. The way I put it, especially in the US and kind of the different kind of bands that we work with, where it's a combination of reggae and alternative or this or that. It's in that space, it's it all meets at the beach. You know what I mean? These different scenes, and I think it's kind of looking at these different Venn diagrams of where different music genres exist and trying to pull them together, because people listen to music more today based off of mood and vibe than genre. So I don't like to be yo, we work with this genre or that genre. I'm trying to think about things in terms of well, this could fit on a workout playlist, or this could fit on your chill playlist, or you're going out at night, all really this kind
Spotify
of stuff.
Spotify behavior. That's
yeah, exactly. But all the platforms and just thinking about the more we can kind of create collaborations from different markets coming together, then the more that reach can expand. And that's something that I'm thinking about a lot, is how can we take an artist from point A who has whatever number of monthly listeners, and how can I think about it and be all right, yeah, we're gonna double that, we're gonna triple that, we're gonna quadruple that, and here's how that can happen.
Taking a break out of this podcast to big up our sponsors, Itopia Life Herbals, where cannabis and culture combined for a one-of-a-kind experience. You can visit them at 10 West Kings House Road, just across from the Canadian Embassy. Also, you can follow them on Instagram at Itopia Life, or visit their webpage at itopialife.com for the latest info on strains and merch. Right now, I want to take the time to big up our new sponsor, Self-Care Friday. Yes, the skin is the largest organ of the body, and whatever is applied is absorbed by the body, thus into the bloodstream. Did you know this, Ari? Okay. Therefore, it is important that we're mindful of what we use on our body, and this is where Self-Care Friday comes in. They take away the hassle of you having to worry about what goes on your skin, as their products are safe and sustainable. They're handmade with natural source ingredients from the earth. You see me? Their nourishing products range from organic, natural, and vegan, as they are cruelty-free. Love your skin, and your skin will love you back.
True.
Give your skin sanctum and choose Self-Care Friday. And let's make every day Friday.
Yay.
Or you can use the code FIX15 and get 15% off all purchases. That's the FIX15 and get 15% off all purchases. Follow them on Instagram and TikTok at Self-Care Friday and visit their website at www.selfcarefriday.com. How did you get involved in this gentrification process?
How did I get involved in this gentrification process? Well, first of all, should I answer the question about gentrification to start off? Or do I just take that as like...
Let's start with the history of gentrification.
Because we can get into that too. I mean, that's an important thing.
Where you get the music?
Well,
why reggae music?
Yeah.
Like, where you get involved?
Yeah. So I grew up in New York City originally. I live in California now.
Just that's where the beach come in.
But New York, no. But New York, just the kind of music I loved growing up and I was exposed to. So even when I was in high school, I played in like a reggae band with a bunch of kids who lived in Flatbush, and we'd go and play. I was the only non-Jamaican kid in the band. We'd go play in the backing band at like churches and different things. So I got exposed to a lot of music from them. So like Beres Hammond was like everybody's favorite artist at that time when I was a kid. I'm 27, so this isn't like that long ago that I'm talking about. And so I was influenced by all this stuff. It's just what I loved. And then from there, over time, as I kind of graduated college, and then I joined on with the people at my partners now at Ineffable, and then we kind of launched the label arm of the business and these different things. It's like over time, what I kind of began to realize is that like there's been a way in which artists have been really taken advantage of, and we can put forth a different model. Where people can actually be treated in a way that's fair and they can actually make money. And that's kind of because you said it initially that,
you try to evaluate your proposition, as you say, where artists would come to you and it would make more sense to come to you because you provide a service for them that they probably couldn't do it on their own, or if they do it on their, if they went straight independent. But speak on that, like why would they why should an artist come to you as a label, where we've seen so many, I guess, horror stories of how labels take advantage of artists, or them get enough, that little, they get little, the artists get little, and the label benefits mostly from it. So why?
Because I wake up in the middle of the night scared of becoming that guy. like
where?
You know what I mean?
Which guy?
Like I wake up in the middle of the night with nightmares of becoming the label that everyone is thinking about in that way. Like that horror story of like, all right, now you've become the guy you don't want to be, right? So that's when I think about adding something on, and when we think about bringing something into the fold, I have to feel very confident that we're going to be able to have the time, resources, and money necessary to be able to treat that thing with the time and respect that it needs to be able to to be able to move the needle in that way.
Because you mentioned Stick Figure too, because I was reading an article, and you talk about how Stick Figure, he was pretty much an independent artist, but it's still is, but it's under your, I guess, on the Ineffable's, I guess, tutelage or guidance.
So Infinite label.
So Stick is a management client. He's part of the management division. The label, assists in all of his releases. Stick is an example of an artist who, basically has grown independently the whole time. So producer, he does every single element of the sound himself, and he just got better and better at producing every year of his life. He spends a crazy amount of time in the studio at all times and just focuses on that every day. So he picked a consistent message within the music, and people got drawn to it because it's providing a lot of value in their lives. You go to the YouTube comments on his stuff, and it's like, I was about to like literally jump off a bridge, and then I listened. Like, it's very like emotional in that way for people. And so there's been this thing that's been tacked into,
like, Stick Figures never fail. That's another inside joke.
Yeah, I'm not part of that one. I knew the gross, the camel. No, but it's like this idea of like, this is how you grow really an audience without having to be so reliant on other people. Is you pick a sound and you get better and better and better at that sound, and you have people who know what to expect from you. And then you can grow that audience. Those people are going to show it to other people. It's going to start recommending it in the algorithms to people who are similar to that, and it's going to keep growing. If you're shooting all over the place and you do one record that's like this and one record that's like that and all this stuff, it's way harder to actually build that fan base. So it's been done through that understanding of he understands his brand. He understands what the fans want, you know, and thinks about stuff in terms of value add. Like, what am I doing?
Okay. So what does Ineffable provide? So you say it's just management. So he's an independent artist. So that means what? He owns his publishing and...
He owns his publishing and his masters. All of our label clients also own their publishing and their masters.
Okay. So then what does Ineffable provide?
So for Stick, basically we're helping oversee the three main parts of his business. So live, merchandise, and recorded music. So that's the way we see management client. Those are the three main things. And so, you know, you're helping strategize to grow those three things essentially. So I'm mainly focused on the recorded music side and growing it there. But the entire team, my partner Thomas, who manages Stick, you know, is overseeing all aspects of that. So even like the live side, which is a really interesting thing. I think a lot of people don't understand the way that, you know, the building on the live side influences festivals and things like that, right? It's all about building hard ticket history, which means I'm going to play the show in LA and I can sell this many tickets when it's my show, not a built-in, you know, there's a reggae night Tuesday night or this or that. It's like, this is my show and I can sell this many tickets. And that's how promoters know how much to offer you for a festival in that market. And so that's an artist who's built
touring strategy. Very important touring
built
strategy.
a hard ticket history over time while also owning your masters and this merch business, and you have all these things, and you can then make the best decisions for yourself because you're not reliant on just one thing. You can go play a show in, you know, Europe if you're in the US and lose money or something like that because you have these other revenue streams. And that's kind of why, to me, the pushing forward master ownership and us not owning masters of our label clients and that, and me thinking about our label clients in terms of very specifically, all right, here's what we're going to do. Here's how I see how you're underperforming on Spotify, how you're underperforming on YouTube, how if we collaborate here or we put this producer in or this or that, or here's the way I think of it in the next 2 years, how I know we can grow it in this way. And you're not right 100% of the time, but you know.
Would you say that's a major difference between an independent label and a major label? Like some of the things that you mentioned that you do for your clients?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's independent labels that are bad actors as well. It's not just a independent versus major thing. And I think there are lots of people at majors who are doing good things too. So it's not just one versus the other. But I think specifically for us, it's a matter of really rolling up our sleeves and being like, yo, what can I do here? I'm not just trying to make this like this huge pool of assets that I'm invested in, that if one of them pops off, I don't care if the rest fail. So yes, the major label model in general is I'm going to shoot like, you know,
many
500 bullets out there. And if I hit one person, this is a crazy analogy. I don't know why that came to my mind.
It's the American in you.
My mind, it goes somewhere else too.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It's like, so
I'm taking basketball. Okay.
Right. It's a basketball analogy. For me, I miss 100% of the shots that I take in basketball. But that's the model. It's like, yo, you put up money in all these different things. You don't need to pay attention to all of them necessarily, because if one is popping and then the rest of your money is coming from your catalog, the majority of the money is coming from catalog 20, 30 plus years ago. So then it's really a top heavy thing. The one or two records that are really hidden in that office, that's what they're gonna push into, especially because they're getting 85, 90% of the back end on it. So if it works out, boom, we hit the lottery.
This combined when we are together, like lyrics from my heart will last forever. I would have swear, but no, never expected love.
Got chatting, pussy good, me jealous over everything. Me don't need that from your put it on me skin to skin. Heart race, you a boot up me adrenaline. Treat her like a queen, me a your psycho king. Me take a banana boat if you go foreign. Can't make your left hand, me not try a thing. Now your bank account they are minus. Plus, when them play money, play the chorus. Dark talent don't work, they don't care. You want bus, you have to pay your bus fare. Cause them want money, DJ want money, radio show and podcast want money.